allegiance first. Everyone's welcome to join us. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Could we do a roll call?
Yes.
Commissioners, thank you.
Commissioner LaFave?
Here.
Commissioner Berridge?
Here.
Commissioner Lorraine?
Here.
Commissioner Trucks?
Yes.
Vice Chair Quinn?
Yes.
Commissioner Kriskowitz?
Yes.
Roll call complete.
Okay. And at this time, the chair will ask if there are members, any members of the commission with a conflict of interest on the approved agenda. Which ones?
We're out of order already.
419. Okay, thanks, Ed.
Oh.
This is the public comment period. At this time, the chair will ask if there are any public comments related to agenda items.
Angie, we got to do the.
Oh, sorry, I
minutes.
missed one. At this time, the Historic District Commission can take action to approve the June 25th, 2025 meeting minutes.
Approve as noted.
Okay, a motion to approve. Is there a second? Second by Scott. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
I'll abstain because I wasn't here.
Okay. All right. Okay, at this time, are there any public comment on agenda-related items?
Do we need to approve the agenda also? No. Add on here.
It's not.
Sorry.
It's not on the.
It should be.
Yeah. it
So-
should be. But yeah, if you could.
Will be the charm. Okay. All right. Are there any?
I'll make a motion.
Make a motion to approve the agenda? Is there support?
A second.
Okay, thank you. All those in favor of approving the agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Any opposed? Now. This is the time that ask if there's any public comments related to the agenda items.
Hi, Jeff Gordon, 411 River Street. And I sent in a submission late, and in reality, what I'm hoping to do is open a conversation around, dare I say, the protective fencing in front of Paula's building at 347, 349 River Street. Maybe potentially the right way to approach it is what building inspector suggested, which is a small group, small quorum. But I did want to recap. I did participate in a session with the State Historic Preservation Review Board. And while they did not overturn the decision of the Manistee Historic District Commission, there were a lot of comments within there that basically undermined much of what the decision was. And ultimately, my view and the simplest way to express it is that construction-related items, think fencing, what have you, scaffolding, whatever, that is, as Lee had mentioned, is outside of the bounds of what the Historic District Commission should be and would be considering inside of these. Now, all of that said, we're looking to have something protective in front of the building until Paula's construction is done. It's approximately 2 years from now. I will follow up with Jerry and get however I can. I'd like to have a conversation as opposed to standing before you with proposals and see if there's something that makes sense for all, and then move forward if that makes sense. And I know you can't comment, so we'll leave it to look for your comments thereafter. Appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other public comments related to agenda items? All right, hearing none, we have 3 applications for new business. The first is 419 River Street, parcel number 51-350-701-13.
Sir, would you like to approach the committee and explain what's happening?
Just trying to repair the side of the building. That's about it. I had brick masons with me, got some samples of brick. These are available currently. If we can't use these, they said it could possibly be till next spring before we could get a different brick. So looking for approval so we can move on. I do have an engineer that's doing the work on it. He's met with the building department.
Yep, he was there.
So the engineer's going to approve some drawings. There apparently was a fire in that building, which I knew about. Didn't know the damage that it caused till now. So once they've opened up the brick, he's going to require there's no headers and stuff over the window, so they're going to have to do some work on that. So once this is approved, we're going to move ahead with doing the repairs according to the engineer's specs.
If I could, I'll give you a little backstory. Is that me ringing?
Somebody. And I didn't know, so.
Sorry. No, not me. So, as I was looking out my office window, I noticed some work going on the side of the building in the back over here. I approached the brick mason and then found out what was happening. There was a significant danger, in my opinion, to the property next door. There was also I would call life safety issues pertaining to his building as well. There was holes in it. I informed the brick mason that I wasn't going to shut his job down. I wanted him to keep going so we didn't get anybody hurt or cause any damage to anybody's property, with the condition that the owner, and I forget your name, I apologize, sir. Tony, submit the application and give us some physical samples of what he wanted to do. At that point, I didn't know about any of the fire damage either, but when it was opened up, significant charring on the balloon framing in a specific area. At that point, I decided as the building official that I could not determine code compliance. I didn't know if there was anything to adhere the exterior sheeting to prior to putting the brick on, so that's why we required the engineer to get involved to give us an analysis, tell us how to attach that to the property. I figured I didn't know how to, other than a picture, to give you a sample of the brick, so he was nice enough to bring a couple over so you could see them and touch them. And this color, I believe, is what originally was on there underneath some of that paint and stuff.
The red, it's mostly red. It has some of the cream color mixed in with the red and stuff. That's pretty close to what's currently there, as far as we can tell, because it's all been painted.
Yeah.
Way before I bought these buildings 14 years ago, whenever it was.
Portions of the building is not visible at all from the alley or anywhere except for on top of the other roof in the scaffolding, or I suppose if you're flying a little flying plane over here, you can see it, but some of it you can see from the alleyway. Definitely doing a huge service to repairing it, so that's what we have at this point.
So I have a few questions, but since I'm cheering today, I should probably not go first with questions. So please, other commissioners, do you have questions about the application? No?
Looks like you get to go first.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go first. If I understand correctly, and I'm going to apologize, I hate printing out 31 pages, so I did not. I have the agenda. I read through it all very carefully yesterday, though, and it's my understanding that, it's a painted exterior wall. It is a side wall, and so it's not a primary facade on either front or back. And you are repairing masonry. You're not replacing it with something else. You're
We're replacing the brick. The brick had to be replaced. It's completely damaged, so.
with brick.
With brick, yeah.
That's
right.
Yeah, so you're not.
No, to be honest with you, I had looked at some alternatives,
Uh-huh.
and I actually I've known Ed for a number of years.
Okay.
I talked to him about, because I noticed on the side of the brewery, they put up metal. Side of the, I think the museum, they put metal up. I talked to Ed about it, and I said, what do you think? He says, I don't like metal. So, and then when I had contacted, I had spoke to, I thought it was you, but it might have been another building inspector. They said, if you're going to replace the brick, then, we're fine. We didn't have, the city was no problem with it. But then through all this, realized we need to get, approval on the brick and stuff.
Right, and so I guess my follow-up question is the other damage that that you all are all describing with the fire is actually really interior and not visible from the exterior.
Correct, yeah.
Okay.
It wasn't visible
So-
till we took the brick off.
So from the Historic Preservation Commission viewpoint, we don't worry about what's on the inside, okay? I mean, we might have opinions about it,
Yeah.
but that's not something that the ordinance covers. So I think the last question is, you know, are you doing any other tuck pointing, or are you just replacing that section that was so damaged?
No, just, it's that whole wall basically is being repaired or replaced as necessary.
Okay. And Jerry, I don't know if you know this from a Historic Preservation Commission point of view, is one of the things, using new brick and tying it in with an old building, your engineer might know this, is sometimes the mortar recipe, like that we use today, like a really heavy Portland cement recipe, is not necessarily best for older bricks that you might be coming in contact with as you're doing that infill. So I guess just be careful with that. And I'm
Yeah,
sure
well,
your engineer,
Ted-
masonry folks know.
Ted does a
But-
lot of work up in Traverse City on historical buildings,
Mm-hmm.
so he's familiar with, I think, pretty much that issue.
Got it.
In this case, I wouldn't recommend using historical mortar because it's just a face veneer.
Okay.
And we're replacing the whole wall.
You believe, okay.
So it's a whole section and it's not gonna be tied in, little patchwork here and there.
Okay, so you're doing the entire wall?
Yeah, basically, you
Okay.
can see it in that picture behind you.
Mm-hmm. I can see it. We have an image in front of us, yeah.
You know, basically that entire wall from that corner up to that second roof line up there.
Mm.
And since it's just a veneer system, it's not incredibly important that we're using like an old-fashioned breathable mortar because it's not a solid masonry with.
That's
wall.
so interesting that it's just a facade wall and
Yeah,
not
it
a
was
load
in
bearing.
rough
That's,
shape. We had a quite
Oh.
belly in it, and once we started, we had to take it down.
got it, got it. All right, my questions are satisfied. Were there any other questions from the committee? The commission? All right,
I move we issue this certificate of approval.
all right, so we have a motion to approve the certificate approval. Is there support? Support by Commissioner Lorraine. All those in favor? Let's do a roll call, okay?
Sure, yes.
Yep.
Commissioner LaFave,
Yes.
Commissioner Barridge,
Yes.
Commissioner Lorraine,
Yes.
Commissioner Kriskowitz,
You're abstaining,
Abstain.
correct?
Yeah.
you're abstaining, I'm sorry. Commissioner Trucks,
Yes.
Vice Chair Quinn,
Yes.
motion passed.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
I'll get with you via email and send you the certificate and
Okay.
work with Ted. and
Sounds
we'll
good.
get it
As soon as we
finished up.
get the engineering, we'll do that too.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay, we're going to move on to the next item of new business, which is 142 Washington Street. It's parcel number 51-270-709-01.
Hello. Basically, what we're looking at doing is replacing existing vinyl siding on the office. It's on the northwest corner with vertical board and batten, 7-inch wide vertical board and batten vinyl siding in the lower section, and then all the side walls of the building, and then 5-inch double horizontal vinyl siding, white in color. It's currently a clay color. They want to change to white color with a black wood look PVC trim. Zero maintenance. Building was built in the 80s, so all materials were common in that at that time, and still are currently common. Just materials have evolved to be a lot better than what they are. Also replacing the roof. The roof is of age to be replaced. Going from shingle siding, which would be removing there's already 2 layers on there. Code doesn't allow us to go a 3rd layer, so we remove the 2 layers and putting a black metal standing seam roof covering on. And the standing seam is a hidden fastener. It doesn't look like a pole barn roof. They're a very nice looking roof. And then adding a covered portico, basically a covered entryway off the front of the building to give it better curb appeal and not look so much like it looks like a pole barn kind of now. So, yeah, that's basically it.
Are there questions or comments from the commissioners?
Now, you're going down the side as well?
Yes.
And
Yep.
the back?
Yep. The vertical board and batten that stuff, but in white,
Okay.
is going on the base below the peak.
Okay.
And then in the peak would be the horizontal 5-inch,
Okay.
which is a little bit wider than your standard. And a lot of houses that I've done with the vertical and then horizontal in the peak, the wider horizontal looks better. And then doing the 5-inch horizontal down the side.
Down the sides
Yep,
and the
so-
back.
Yep, and the back. So the only part that'll have the vertical board and batten is the face that faces Washington.
Got it.
And color, bottom white?
White,
green?
both white.
Okay, and the green then is,
Excuse me?
that green color is
That's just the siding.
size?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's just a sample of the siding. It's that exact siding, but in white.
Got it. All right, any other questions or comments from the commissioners?
I move we issue the certificate of
So we have a motion to approve the certificate of appropriateness. Is there a motion for support?
I support it.
All right. Let's go ahead and do a roll call.
Commissioner LaFave?
Yes.
Commissioner Berridge?
Yes.
Commissioner Lorraine?
Yes.
Commissioner Kriskowitz?
Yes.
Commissioner Trucks?
yes.
Vice Chair Quinn?
Yes, and I actually want to make a comment. Sometimes when you have a new building in a historic district, you try to make it look old, and I'm happy that you did not attempt to do that. So it will be a product of its time. Thank you.
Looks like what it is.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you.
All righty, that's,
Swing for the fence.
I know, we're very close here. All right, and now the next order of new business, 312 River Street. It's parcel number 51-452-04-19.
Hello, nice to see you all again on a different property. I'm Connie Freiberg, I own 312 River Street, operating right now as Bluefish Kitchen. I have a slide presentation for
Want
y'all.
to do the presentation first? Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of the outline of
Okay.
what I'm doing. Okay, next slide.
Bear with me a minute. It's touchy.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
here we go.
Okay.
Ready?
All right, so I want to talk a little bit about the condition of our deck right now. So the deck itself is not a historical element to the building. It was constructed and added onto the building in 1998 by the Lighthouse Brewing Company. So our deck is getting kind of older. We have some rotted wood that we replaced on the deck surface in 2013. And we've a little bit of loose rail, so it's time to give it some love and attention. Next slide, please. Already said that, okay, keep going.
Sorry.
All right, oh my gosh, I've got that too small for me to be able to read. All right, so
This?
basically, like we've said before, we're starting to see some wear and tear on the deck, and we want to do a refurbishment to sort of make it better and nicer for people dining out there. So one of the things that we wanted, Jerry, are you trying to find my next slide?
Did I get you?
Should be, yeah, should
Oh,
be,
bugger.
keep going till you get to the rotted wood
I
on the
apologize.
windowsills. That's my good slide.
Keep going.
Keep going, keep going. There, okay, so right now you can tell this is a good example of some of the deterioration that we're starting to have. We've got windowsills rotting out and the concrete parts underneath crumbling. So that's going to be addressed as part of this refurbishment. Next slide, please. The paint color for the sills and window trim is going to be Sherwin-Williams peppercorn. This was the color that was designated for us by the State Historical Preservation Commission when we purchased the restaurant, and we got rid of the color that Topaz had painted it, and the Historical Commission had us paint the brick terracotta to get it back to as close to a natural brick color as we could, and then they recommended the peppercorn for all the trim. So we're going to continue with that color scheme in the back, the terracotta and peppercorn together. Okay, next slide, please. So the new design features that we're looking to do for the project, the adjustable height glass railing is our key element. What we're trying to do with the deck is to heat it and create more of a like 9-month season to where we can start the deck up maybe in late March, early April, and we can continue through Sleigh Bell. The adjustable height glass railing will come up, it will protect it from wind, we'll have our heaters, that's going to warm that space. Composite decking, this is a sample of the material that we're looking at doing. You guys can pass that around. And then also adding some lighting that creates a little nicer ambiance. And then we're looking at just, because we don't have a ton of space and we can't expand the deck in size over its existing footprint, we're looking at maybe one fire feature, something that just creates some visual interest, especially if we keep it open through Sleigh Bell. It kind of gives us, a little campfire vibe. Next slide, please. So I gave you guys the sample of the decking. The color is spiced rum. We feel like it's kind of a natural wood color. It's going to contrast nicely with our tables right now are a light gray. So we feel like that's going to look good together. Next slide, please. Then here's an example of the Bromic radiant heaters mounted on a brick wall. So this obviously is not our restaurant, but is an example of how those heaters will mount on the back. So if you can visualize the glass railing coming around, the heaters mounted on the brick, and that radiant heat warming the space. They're not, they're not high profile, and they kind of don't stand out too much. So we think that those will work well. Next slide, please. And then we want to do, on the back brick wall in the decking, we want to do a Trex puck light that will uplight the brick. This will kind of go around the perimeter of our deck and also underneath the glass railing that would at night give the glass railing a little bit of glow too. Obviously, none of this comes into play in the summertime at all because we close at 9 during the week and at 10 on the weekends, and the sun is still out for the most of the summertime at that time. But in the wintertime, when we're trying to expand the season and make this a more inviting space, say in mid-March or early April or October, November, this will really make it look much nicer. Next slide, please. So that is an example of the puck light in the Trex decking sample on the left, and that's in the spice drum, and that's the Trex product that we would be using. And then just another idea to show you how that they would be spaced as they're up against the back, uplighting the brick wall. Next slide. So this is the adjustable height glass railing in a restaurant application. The manufacturer, we looked very hard for something more similar to what we have going on, but you can definitely get the idea. The thing that's really nice about the glass railing is it doesn't stop your eye. So you will actually get to see more of the brick and more of the back of the building and the historical aspects of the back of the building and not be blocked by, a 1998 style wooden railing that doesn't have any historical significance. So the product is European, it's manufactured in Poland. we have our fingers crossed, very much so, that we're going to get it under the wire for the tariffs and be able to get this done for fall. Next slide, please. So this is a video. There should be a press play button there. I invented video.
Pause. Here it is.
Oh, there it is. Okay. All right. So this is very cool. Some of the service staff, if it starts to get really windy, and we've got wind blowing, coming down the river and blowing on the deck, they can go down the line, push on them. They'll come up to the point where it stops the wind, protects the diner, as a more enjoyable experience on the deck. And as you can see, if you look at the back of that house, the glass is, you're seeing the house. So if you use your imagination and you imagine the back of the restaurant, you're going to see the brick and the deck and the dining tables, you know, and our umbrellas and everything. And I think it's just going to create a very inviting space without taking away from the historical look and character of our building. Next, please. This is the sketch, which is wrong. We don't have our stairwell opening in this, but that obviously will be corrected before we start construction. On the far left is our opening for our stairs. But it just gives you the idea that the glass will wrap around the top of the deck space, and it shows you how it connects and fastens to the decking substrate. It's tested for wind up to, I think, like 85 miles per hour in the upper position. So we'll certainly keep an eye on that, because the wind can definitely come whipping down the board, you know, whipping down the river at times. All tempered glass, so if it were to break for some reason, it just kind of falls into like little pebbles. We don't run the risk of, you know, cutting anybody to pieces. So, next slide. So we've contracted with Ken Worshel of Worshel Construction to do the project. As you guys remember, this project was supposed to start spring. I was sadly unprepared, but now I've got it together, and we're hoping to start it right after leaf season and then be done by December, before the weather turns bad, so that we're ready to go next year. So, like I said, fingers crossed that we get it in under the wire before we have to deal with the tariffs. Okay, next slide, please. And I think this is pretty much it. Okay, so just in case y'all are not familiar with what the back of the building looks like right now, this is our existing structure. We have existing sprinkler system underneath the deck that's functional. We have existing gas piping under the deck that's functional, so that's a cost saver for us. We'll use the existing electrical to power the bromic heaters, and then also transfer into a low voltage system that will handle our uplighting. And then the existing stairwell will stay in place. So the stairwell will be what you see, and then where you see the 1998 railing across the top, that's going to be our adjustable height glass balustrade. Okay, that's it. Anybody have any questions?
So the superstructure is going to look the same?
Superstructure is the same. Yeah, originally we wanted to expand the deck, but because of the easement underneath the deck and the fact that we already have the sprinkler system and all the substructure in place, we decided that for cost effectiveness, we needed to keep the same footprint that we already had. And we had reinforced the deck in 2013 after we purchased the restaurant, because we had bounce in the deck when you were walking across it. So we've tied in a bunch of support. And when we added that support, that created the substructure that you need to use composite decking. Whereas initially it was constructed to use wood decking, we reinforced it with an eye to the future that at some point in time, the wood decking would go away and the composite decking would come into play.
Other questions?
Have you considered the stairway, the fencing on the stairway to
perhaps also be in black metal in continuity?
We have, and we talked about painting it black also, because there'll be, the Trex material will come down the stairs as well.
Oh,
But yeah, we've talked about trying to figure out if we stained it something that made it tie in a little bit better
yeah.
with the glass. But we didn't want to do, the glass is expensive, really expensive, especially for the adjustable height, and also trying to do the glass on an angle is quite the challenge.
Glass, but perhaps just metal,
Yeah. Yeah.
a black, there again, you got wood and then you're going into the glass.
Yeah.
More
Yeah.
rhythm.
We talked about a couple different options, trying to maybe stain it to match more the color of the spice drum with the decking, or maybe possibly painting it black coming up the stairs. So yeah.
All right. I have a few questions. Do you have questions?
Really, I was just gonna,
So, have you considered at all possibly, perhaps not retaining that particular railing, but retaining some sort of railing with that general look along with your glass? And the reason I'm asking is when that deck that was installed in 1998 was put in, my guess is they put that kind of railing in it because it kind of mimics what else is going on the backs of the buildings, that back facade, which is so visible from the Riverwalk and so visible from the river, so visible from the other side of the road. And my guess is that got approved at that time because it's period appropriate. A clear glass railing isn't period appropriate, and it doesn't really mesh with the things next to it.
See, my opinion right now, if you look at the back of my building, your view of all the beautiful windows, all the beautiful brickwork, everything is blocked by that heavy, bulky railing. What I'm basically doing with the adjustable height glass railing is that just disappears. So you're creating a window through which you can look through and then see how beautiful the architecture of the building is, not covering it up with. And this railing, to be honest, it's a very 1998 vibe to me. It's not at all something that I feel like if somebody was adding a deck at this point in time, would they bring something like this in?
So,
I'm sure if I'm correct, for code right now, if you replace the fire escape structures on the rear of the building, don't those have to be replaced with metal now? They can't be the wooden things anymore. I think that was
You still can use some wood in some applications, depending on the design. But as far as the deck goes here, I would say that you probably could use either to meet code.
so since it's a district and not a standalone building, it really is not just about how nice it makes your building look, but it is about that relationship, that rhythm between your building and the other buildings that it's next to. And so something with a visible railing, you can paint it black, so it pretty much disappears anyway, with this great idea for the adjustable height glass.
I really would not want to take away from what I feel is the valuable aesthetic of the adjustable height glass railing, and that it gives you just that beautiful, clear view of the back of our building and all the
Tables,
great historical detail. Pardon me?
of the underside of tables?
I don't think you'd see the underside of the tables because they have the chairs and then there's obviously the umbrellas and everything. I wish I had another restaurant application photo that was elevated, but I don't.
I think what you're doing, your design is striking. I love it. It makes the beauty of your building now, the way you're gonna light it and would be able to see through, I think is wonderful.
I just think it really will. It'll showcase all
Well,
the
my
architecture.
thought is, if you take a walk down the river walk, half of the existing rails are metal. There's a lot of metal there. And the other half that are wood are in desperate sore need of repair. They look like hell. So you've got a battle of getting someone to put wood up and then maintaining it.
Yeah.
But your design, I find it's contemporary. We don't know what the gateway is going to be like, but I doubt there'll be wooden decks on it.
Oh, yeah, they'll definitely, glass railing, this glass railing is what's happening.
Well, like I say, and I applaud your being able to utilize it more year-round with the design you're incorporating. That's
And going back to my other project, 380, 382, the building that is immediately to the right, when you look at the front of our building, it looks like it's all one building, but there's the Miracle store, and then they have white plastic decking and railing on the back of that building. My wooden fire escape structure is in terrible shape. That's gonna come down. That's not gonna it can't, I don't think, by code, get replaced with another wooden structure. That's gonna be something different as well. So, I mean, I feel like as you pointed out, these wooden fire escape structures are starting to age and fall apart. And with the quality of modern materials, the things that we have right now, and the fire safety of metal, I don't think you're gonna see something like this going back in anywhere.
So the comment, if I could go into a little bit more detail, I'm not even that concerned about material, whether it be wood or metal. Glass, though, is not used on any other railings along that back facade, and it's not a period appropriate material. So using the railing that you have, painting it black, working with the thing is an idea. Putting in a metal railing that's simple but still gives you that rhythm.
But it doesn't enable us to create that extra season space. We have to have the adjustable height glass railing to block the wind to be able to contain the heat from the garment heaters. Without the adjustable height glass railing, the heating does not work at all because the wind will push. And you probably wouldn't even be able to use the fire feature either because the wind whips down there. So even right now in the summertime, I foresee us like on an evening like tonight when we have small craft advisory out there, I could see the glass railing going up to protect our diners and to enhance the dining experience. And I mean, I'm going to respectfully disagree that I don't think it takes away anything from the historical aspect because it's so minimalist. You want to go back to the picture of it on the house for me, Jerry, the video? What you see is a very, very low profile metal. And then if you can tell, you see right through to the building, and maybe even from, you might even see a little bit of the river reflected back when you look up at it, depending on how clean it is. Right now our windows at the restaurant are crazy clean and they reflect the river and birds are flying into them and dropping the deck next to people who are eating. So we're like, oh, we need to not have the windows be so clean. But it's just, the aesthetic is just so nice on how much you're going to be able to see. And I just think when we uplight in the fall, the brick, and you'll just be able to see all that architecture of the back of our building, not covered up by an ugly wooden fence.
All right. Are there any other questions for the applicant?
I'd just make a statement. The gateway is not in the historic district. So whatever they do is what they do. We can't say anything about it. I think the point that...
I think we're the very first building of this.
Actually, your neighbors,
Spicer's is? Oh, no, the old camera shop, yeah.
the old camera shop, Hokinson's. And I think what Angie's trying to say is that it's just not a material that's acceptable for our district, say. That's the point she was getting at, you know. I think it is cool. I think it's really neat looking and everything. And it accomplishes exactly what she wants to accomplish. But does it fit in our district? That's the question here. It isn't whether it's really cool, because it is. But that's kind of what we're here for, so.
All right, so are there, any other questions for our applicant? All right, thank you so much for the presentation.
Thank you.
Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda for the decking of Bluefish.
All right, is there support? Support from Scott. Is there any other discussion among commission members?
No, I have just a discussion is that I agree with Ed and with Angie that the structure as it is with all of the glass certainly is not in keeping with either the building or the area. But on the other hand, the way that we preserve things downtown and the way we preserve structures is make sure that they're usable in the 21st century. And I would say I would probably accept this as being, you know, adaptive reuse that I would make an exception to.
All right, any other discussion?
I'm wondering if we could maybe research it and then vote next time. I'm wondering how maybe other, communities like Detroit or Ann Arbor have done these kind of projects, because I do think it's rare to have a business that is able to fund such a nice looking project, and I don't want to, scare off a good business, but I also want to be historically appropriate but future forward. So if we could look into it more, I think I would feel more comfortable.
Are there any other comments regarding the current motion? All right, I actually would like to make a comment also. I think that the addition of a clear railing to provide the ability to protect customers from heat and wind is a great idea. I don't think that having that as the only railing is appropriate, but that's me. I'm not changing your motion. Okay, so that's my discussion point. So if there's not any other discussion regarding the current motion, which is to approve the certificate of appropriateness as written, I'd like a roll call vote, please.
Okay. Commissioner LaFave?
Yes.
Commissioner Berridge?
Yes.
Commissioner Lorraine?
Yes.
Commissioner Kriskowitz?
No?
Commissioner Trucks?
Yes.
Vice Chair Quinn?
No.
Motion passed.
All right, moving on to old business, and everyone is welcome to hang out and stay while we finish the meeting. Is there any old business to cover today, Jerry?
There is no business that I'm aware of since it's my first one, and I guess I would add a comment under old business. Mr. Gordon touched on the appeals at the state level. I don't know if Teresa filled you in on that.
She did not, I don't think.
If you would like, I will get the transcripts from that for your next meeting so you all could review that. And there was a lot of discussion. There was a lot of the meeting that was absolutely foreign to me. There was no real question answer available. There was, I attended it at the request of the city manager and Teresa. It was, quite frankly, extremely boring. I won't lie to you. there was a lot of business happening. We sat there pretty much the entire day, and Mr. Gordon's appeal was the very last one. So,
I didn't mention it.
So I'll get you a good report and see if I can get the minutes for that meeting as well and attach it for your next meeting. And as he said, they did conclude that they weren't going to overrule the opinion of this board. So I'll get with Mr. Gordon and discuss how we could get him on the agenda for a little presentations or some sort of conversation with you folks to see how we can work together and maybe achieve some sort of common goals.
Thank you. All right.
Yep.
All right. Is there any correspondence?
None that I have, no.
All right. Do we have a report from the Planning and Zoning Administrator?
I believe I give you a report for permits, did I not?
Yeah.
I don't have a written report for you. I apologize for that, other than the report that I printed off of our BSNA system. I know it's not what Teresa normally completed for you, but she had a lot more help than I do right now. I'm filling in as the interim director, and I'm still the building official and rental inspector and chief bottle washer. So bear with me for a little bit. Feel free to give me a call, email me. You see something that you need or you want included in the packet. For now, give me some grace and allow me to not create an additional report. I can print this one off the computer and it takes me about 5 seconds. We are going to get some more staff here soon, I hope, and with that will come maybe some normalcy. That being said, I think it's important that I continue to maintain a certain level of service to the community, and I'm going to throw around a bunch of different hats here and spread myself as thin as I can without getting frustrated. So
You're doing it with a smile, so thank you.
we will deal with everything we can. If anybody wants a printed packet prior to the meeting, please stop in and see me or email me, and I'll do that. I'm going to do it as requested, not just arbitrarily. So get with me later, and I'll be glad to print them out and leave them or get them to you somehow. So.
Great.
Okay.
Thank you. Yep.
That's all I have.
All right. Next agenda item are public comments and communication concerning items not on the agenda. That's generally, he wants to stand up. So yeah, come on up.
Thank you, Angie. So Andrew Stafford, the Director of Economic Development and the Executive Director for the Downtown Development Authority. I kind of just have a question for this commission that I would like to get some feedback on. I know you can't respond to this question currently, but even after the meeting would love any dialogue. But I was downtown with a real estate developer from Lansing. He had done several historical preservation projects in Lansing and Langsburg, which is a community just north of Lansing. And something he had pointed out, especially on the west end of River Street, is there's some potential for vertical infill development, specifically leveraging Act 381, which is Michigan's tax increment financing legislation, to offset some of the cost of adding supportive columns and other structural elements that are necessary to do vertical infill. I was wondering, how does that integrate in a historical district, and if it's even allowed under SHPO or any type of historical preservation? And does that come down to just having the new addition or new floor that somebody's adding on be historically accurate from an architectural standpoint to what they are building on top of? And so would love to get an answer and any type of feedback as to, is that even feasible in that district? In some of our buildings that might only be one story and have potential to add a second or third story. And so just want to throw that out to this commission, and any feedback is welcome. So thank you.
Thank you. So I think Jerry, he raises a very, very good question. There's actually, that is covered in the historic preservation ordinance for the city, and perhaps you could arrange to maybe have some commission members meet with Downtown Improvement and
we'll set it
Go
up.
from there. Okay, cool. Thank you for bringing that up. Any meetings or trainings attended by members? I've been
Yeah, I
like-
did a couple webinars.
Okay, cool. Keep track of them, and one of the things,
Typically, I emailed
Teresa.
to Teresa after I did them.
So the state certified local government designation that we have, it includes an annual report we need to make, and so the trainings that individual commissioners complete goes into that report. So she's probably got a list somewhere. I know I keep track of mine, Lee's sending his in too, so
Okay.
that might be something. I don't remember when that report's due.
We'll check into it. Feel free to continue emailing Teresa's email if that's what you choose to do. It's just getting forwarded to me at this point, and I'll grab it out of there and put it where it goes once I figure out where it goes.
All right.
Okay? We'll
Yes, thank you.
Thank you for sharing that.
All right, and then commission member discussion. At this time, the chair will ask members of the Historic District Commission if they have any items they'd like to discuss.
I had somebody recommend to me that we make sure that we save the bakery sign on the Hotel Northern
It would
as
be,
being historic. I don't know how that would work.
50 cent.
yeah, no, in some different ways. My guess is they probably didn't think about that as they were planning their building. They'll probably at some point want to propose signage for that building, and it should match that potentially as an option.
You know, the comment that I got was more, I used to go to that bakery. I've seen it there all my life,
Yeah,
which is not the person was in their 40s.
yeah. So it's not really a historic preservation ordinance question so much as it's a local,
I don't know,
it's a
maybe
local
it is.
landmark in its own right,
Yeah,
so.
I don't know.
Yeah, maybe the historical society would like that, if the project doesn't include saving it in some way. I've been actually kind of really excited to see the Hotel Northern reappearing on the brick as they're doing that cleaning. Has anyone else noticed that? That's been kind of cool, so, which is also a nice historic thing. Maybe they'll keep it, as they're doing the project. No, it's a good question. I don't know that they're required to, though.
Anybody else think that Stein is historic?
It's been there since I moved here in 98, maybe 97, 98, so.
Well, I know it's been there since I moved here, which was 77, so it's 40.
Jerry, could you ask the
48
person in
years.
the project what their plans are? Because I
Yep.
think there's genuine curiosity.
Yeah, I have the site superintendent's contact information. We just met. I'll email them and see what they're doing with it.
Cool. Sorry, thank you.
You're welcome.
That's what I say when I'm not leading a meeting. Any other conversation or discussion items for commission members? All right. I would entertain a motion to adjourn. No, someone else has to make it.
I
can't.
make a motion to get out of here.
It's a motion to get out of here.
Yeah.
Okay, and then a second. All right. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you.